Welcome to HomeFront SitRep. I hope you're in for a great show today because I'm just a veteran talking about what's on my mind and maybe yours.
You can find HomeFront SitRep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can also check out HomeFront SitRep's YouTube channel.
Buckle up, the show is starting.
Still in the fight, different battlefield, same damn life. No spotlight shining on the ones who serve, just grit, sacrifice, and a whole lot of nerve. From small town shops to a helping hand, we're lifting each other, yeah, that's the plan. No red tape, no filter, no disguise, just truth in the fire, behind our eyes. This is HomeFront SitRep, hear the call, where the real ones rise and the fallen stand tall. Every voice matters, every story's legit. We're family here, this is HomeFront SitRep. From the shadows to the spotlight we step. Yeah, this is HomeFront SitRep. From the scars we carry to the lives we rebuild, from the weight of silence to the strength of will. Non-profits grinding, boots on the street, no headlines chasing, just mission complete. Veteran alone, still chasing the dream. From a mic to a message, we're building a team. Creators and fighters, yeah, we all belong. Turn the pain into purpose, turn the hurt into song. No politics, no games, no divide. Just warriors standing side by side. This is HomeFront SitRep, hear the call, where the real ones rise and the fallen stand tall. Every voice matters, every story's legit. We're family here, this is HomeFront SitRep. From the shadows to the spotlight we step. Yeah, this is HomeFront SitRep. We don't forget, we don't walk away. We carry each other through every day. From combat boots to a boss to a seat, still standing tall, still hard to defeat. Real stories, real impact, real people. This ain't just a podcast. This is a movement. This is HomeFront SitRep, loud and clear, for the ones still fighting year after year. Every voice matters, every story's legit. We're family here, this is HomeFront SitRep. Yeah, we rise, we grind, no regret. Welcome to HomeFront SitRep.
Welcome, everybody, to a Monday edition of HomeFront SitRep. How is everybody doing? Gunny, how are you, sir?
Good, man. Rested after a long weekend of selection and assessment for the team and getting ready for Warrior Weekend 2026. So, yeah, I've already seen a lot of movement for our alumni and ambassadors that are coming in for this year, and a lot of teammates coming to town because it is, Team Fast Track's Warrior Weekend to remember. So, yeah, super excited. Wednesday, I think, is when the ambassador brief is and the welcome aboard. Then Thursday, the new batch of honorees start arriving. So super, super excited for that. And then just got confirmation that Sunday, we will be doing the blend for this year's Warrior on a Cruise bottle. So
nice.
Yeah, leaving Warrior Weekend early Sunday morning. with the board of Warrior on a cruise and heading down to J Matt, do the blend, and then getting them back up here so they can catch our flights home. So yeah, excited, and it's still, waiting on labels for Mogadishu Mile bottle.
I can't wait to see the label.
But yeah, everything's blended there, everything's bottled, everything's waxed. I'm just waiting on those lovely new labels to come in. So super excited.
I'm excited to see the new bottle and get to talk about it here on the show. Because of course we've had the last 2 on the show, I believe.
Last 2,
Yeah. So I'm super excited to see the new bottle, which I've already seen a sneak peek of what the wax looks like, and I will tell you it looks awesome. I'm super excited. Hopefully, I might be able to get to try a little of the new blend. Representing the 10th Mountain. I think it'd be pretty neat. So.
Yeah, I mean, and those guys are chomping at the bit too, right? I had 5 of those guys come in to do the blend back in March, so they're anxiously waiting. We are lowering the price point a little bit to get these things out the door and sold prior to the Mogadishu Mile, Kentucky event.
Heck yeah! No, that's awesome. So, which the event is October 3rd. If you haven't registered or you want to register a 4-man team, you can go to, where can they go to register, Gunny?
The Mogadishu Mile, Kentucky Facebook page, and then you'll find the link for the registration through Run Sign Up. But yeah, they're handling all of our stuff again this year. Run Sign Up returning for a second year. They had so much fun last year. We were their first ever ruck event and their first ever team event that they've ever done. So I can't thank the guys out of Georgetown, Scott County enough for wanting to come back and support Mogadishu Mile, Kentucky. And I've already heard from a number of the junior ROTC teams here in the next week. I'll reach out to the ROTC teams, and yeah, I'm stoked. 50. If I can get to 50 this year, I had 53 registered, and the way that the JROTC works here in Kentucky, it is an extracurricular activity, even though it is a class as well. And if they're not maintaining, a C average in school, they don't get to partake. So
Right.
Some of those teams had to back out last minute last year because it was right after the quarter ended or the semester ended for them. So I lost a couple teams there. So we ended up with 48. So 53 registered. We ended up with 48 4-person teams. A few, I want to say maybe seven or 8 all-female teams. But yeah, super excited, dude. I mean, that's one event I look forward to all year long. And everything's paid for right now except for the timing and scoring.
Yeah. No, it was a great event last year. I mean, for the first time being in Georgetown and the way the course was laid out, just to see the teams, how they were running it and how they were doing it. Also, I went ahead and put the link out there in the chat. So that's the link there, Triple Threat Vets. Thank you, Ty. So the link is in chat if you want to go click on it. Just find it. I believe it's under, I don't know which profile he's posting there on Facebook. So you have to find it on one of the Facebook profiles. But yeah, go check it out. If you want to run the event, it's a great event. I think there's 5 exercises at the beginning that you have to do. So you run through the course with your ammo can, and you do it as a 4-person team, like Gunny was saying. You run to each station. You do your exercises there, whether it's 100 wall balls, whether it's 100 box jumps, whether it's burpees, whatever they decide, for the exercise. And then you take your ammo can back to pick up your ruck, and then you run the rest of the course with your ruck with your 4-man team. Which what I like about it is it is a 4-man team, and God dang, I'm gonna have to fix that. It is a 4-man team, and they get your time don't stop until the last person gets across the line, which is super cool because all the other Mogadishu Mile events are individual. Kentucky is only team event. So go click on that link that Triple Threat Vet Podcast put in the chat there. or you go to Mogadishu Mouth, Kentucky Facebook page, and you can click on the link there as well.
Yep.
Which is super cool because it's outside. You know, we get up there super early. We get to watch the nature wake up, you know, and it kind of leads into our guest today. What do you think about that, Benny?
Yeah, man. That's a better lead-in than yesterday. That's for dag, I'm sure.
It was all your fault. Yesterday was all your fault, Benny. So Gunny and I, we talk about it all the time on HomeFront what our reset is. Everybody knows that Gunny's reset is a fishing line in the water. It don't matter if he's on the bank, on a boat, wherever. That's Gunny's reset. And everybody knows reset is watching nature wake up. I don't care if I'm deer hunting, if I'm turkey hunting, whatever I'm doing, or I can just be sitting in the woods just watching nature wake up. That's my reset. So today's guest is the Vet5 Foundation, which you can see across the top of the screen there. It's an organization that understands one simple truth. Sometimes the best therapy isn't found in the doctor's office. It's found in the outdoors, surrounded by people who speak the same language of service and sacrifice. Founded by combat veterans, Vet5 Foundation is helping veterans and first responders overcome PTSD, physical injuries, and the invisible wounds of service through outdoor events with peer support and genuine. Is he still doing it? I'll switch mics. And genuine camaraderie. The mission goes far beyond hunting and fishing. They're building a community where healing happens through shared experiences and purpose and brotherhood. So I'm super excited to have these guys on. We have two of the founding members on the show right now in the green room. So I'm super excited. Then I don't know what's going on with this mic, friend.
Yeah, I know. It's in and out, and then you kind of sound like this sometimes, and then it's clear. I just don't know what's going on with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to switch it to the other mic. So I'm gonna do that, and you bring our guest in real quick. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that works. Gents, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Willis is having some technical difficulties with his mic, so I think he's going to change his mic out. Again, thank you guys for taking your time on this Monday, time away from your families and your businesses and work and everything. But yeah, again, we can't thank you guys enough to come on and talk about the Vet5 Foundation and everything you guys do. So if you could, one at a time, doesn't matter who goes first. If you would just introduce yourself to the world of HomeFront SitRep.
I'll let you go, Matt.
All right, Matt Koleski, one of the co-founders, vice president, based out of Dallas. Thanks for having us on. Looking forward to hearing about everything you guys are bringing to the forefront, and excited to be here to share our story.
Yeah, man, appreciate it.
And then I'm Casey, another co-founder, president of Vet5. I did a 20-year military. This Matt is one of the guys I deployed with in 2005, 2006. And then we have two other co-founders that we also deployed with that are part of the Vet5 group. And we, this idea was born in the loft of my barn right after my injury, my paralysis. And it kind of was one of those, we can't do that. We can't do that. And here we are today. So looking forward to talking about it. Thank you again for inviting us out here to talk about it. And yeah.
Well, let's try this new mic. Does that sound better, Gunny?
Dude, crystal clear.
Yeah, nice. I thought it was my internet going in and out. I was like, oh, this is going to be hell.
Yeah, I had to switch mics.
Perfect.
Sorry. And I knew that it was been acting up, and I just didn't switch it. I should have went ahead.
He's known for like 3 weeks now. I have a series of texts. Hey, your mic's messing up again.
But anyway, I'm super excited to have you guys on. So both of you guys are Army vets. Matt, did you do how many years did you do in the military?
I did a 4.5, solid 4.5. That little half stint is because they didn't want to let us go, and I did everything I could to get the hell out of there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that lovely stop loss, right?
There you go. Yeah.
Nice. And then, of course, I already know, Casey, you did 19 and a half, but you retired. So I know all about that. So I can barely hear here, Gunny, for some reason. I think I missed that.
Tonight.
I know, right? I can hear, but I can't hear myself. Like, it's weird. Like, I can hear you guys fine, but I can't hear myself. So don't know if I'm coming.
One ear off so you can hear yourself talk. There you
Yeah,
go.
I guess I could do that.
Man, isn't that what DJs do? They have one off so they can hear what's going on and they can talk and do everything else and hear the crowd. And come on now, it's not like
something like that.
These guys are gonna think you're an amateur now.
I know, right? All right, so tell us how the ideal of the Vet5 Foundation came about.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
You want me to talk about the plane flight coming into your retirement?
Sure. Give it to him.
All right, so here we are, right? Casey's injured. So there's a group of us. There's 5 of us, right? Myself and 4 others. We get the call that he got injured, and we go through that process over the next several months. We used to have this annual trip. We referred to it as Guys Weekend. Since I'm going to say, Casey, it started 2000, maybe 8, 2007 or 8.
Yeah.
A bunch of us got out. Two guys in the group stayed in. Casey and another guy, Brandon, remained on active duty. And so we used to meet up basically around like TDY. We used to figure out where everyone was throughout the year. And we did this. And so once a year quickly became like twice a year. And wives started to voice their opinion that this was like, what is this? Like, why is it okay? All of a sudden now it's 3 times a year. Like,
it's not that many times.
But it really was like Brandon would drive to So's house and get together. So it wasn't all of us at the same time, but it was always like somebody was somewhere on this meetup, right? So it stayed pretty steady at twice a year until Casey's injury. And at that time, that year, we had a hunting trip scheduled in Minnesota that November. And so we went to Minnesota, came back from Minnesota, and then your retirement was that December, right? Same year, or was that a full calendar year later?
Yeah.
So I'm on a plane from Dallas to Pensacola, and somebody brought up, I think it was Casey on a phone call. He's like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I've just never had this like time on my hands like this, like waking up. And on a plane, I put together this joking PowerPoint for him to organize like our guys' weekend trips, because every year random people would be like, am I getting invited to guys' weekend? Am I like soldiers, friends, other people that he worked with, people that I worked with, friends of friends, cousins. They're like, am I coming on guys' weekend this year? We got asked, Casey will vouch for it. We got asked countless times. And it was like, no, you won't understand what we talk about. You won't understand like the things that happen on guys' weekend to discuss amongst 5 guys that slept in a bunk room while mortars were coming in. Like, you guys, it just wouldn't work. You'd be out of place. And so the joke of the whole thing is how could Casey now essentially build guys' weekends for other people? That was the Amazon in the garage selling books, and it evolved to what it is today.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I would say that is how it started. It was a joke. It was kind of like, but then it kind of hit me, man. Cause I'm sitting here, I'm freshly paralyzed. And I lost two things after my injury, and my forced retirement from the military. I lost my identity as a service member, and then I lost my identity as an able-bodied 6'5" guy that walked into a room with presence, right? And I had a presence from both of those, being a big, tall, athletic guy and being a military member. And I lost all of that overnight. And I'm sitting there going, what do I do? How do I make my children proud? How do I make my wife proud? And Matt pitches this idea. And I was like, I could never do that. I could never do that. And I started to stew on it. I think one day I was in my bathroom and I was crying in the mirror, and I said, you know what? Like, I need a reason. I need a purpose, right? I need something that drives me forward. And I said, I'm going to do it. And if it fails, it fails, but we're going to try. And it turned into something that was more than I thought I even needed, because it just gave me that purpose. It gave me purpose in every facet of my life, right? Purpose to helping veterans, purpose to, being there for my family, purpose for getting out of bed in the morning. And then that's when it kind of clicked. I was like, man, there's a lot of veterans out there that when they exit the military, they've been given responsibility for hundreds of millions of dollars of equipment, hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment. And then they get out and they say, hey, I'm here to work. And they go, you know what? There's going to be an 8-month training period before you can use the cash register, and you're like, dude, I used to send tow missiles across the, so it's like, man, they've got all this desire to be important and impactful and purpose driven. And the civilian world doesn't understand that. And they say, hey, you know what? Like, I know, but we're going to put you through this training before you can talk to customers. And you're like, so it's this crazy. So that's when it really solidified for me. That's when it set into my bones that this is something that veterans need. Because you get two choices. You get to fester or you get to thrive. You get to get out of bed or you get to stay there. And I was at the point where it's like, man, I'm trying to be positive. Am I going to stay here or am I going to move on? And Vet5 came out of that. That's why it's very powerful and purposeful for me. And I do think so many veterans find themselves in a situation where it's like, I just want to feel important again. I just want a purpose, and I just want someone to trust my abilities. And so I know we do like fishing and hunting, but I think that's where the conversation starts. Like you said, where it's the reset, right? So you're resetting in the woods. I reset in the woods. I solve most of my problems when I'm sucking at 3 a.m. in 40 degrees. And I'm going, why am I here? Right? Yep. Why am I here? But then I'm sitting there thinking like, I wouldn't trade this for the world. What can I do? And I solve problems that way. And I think that veterans, and we do first responders and Gold Star families, because families, and we'll get into that later, but families are just as important part of this for us. And so I just think that that's where it really kind of ingrained in my soul that this is an important thing. And it's a non-clinical approach to just getting veterans, inspiring veterans, and you get to learn who the veteran is. You get to learn who they are, and you get to figure out, hey man, like I really want to help you and get them to actual help, because, I'm not a doctor. So I'm not saying that's not an important piece. I'm just saying you don't get to identify. Veterans don't self-identify very well. And once they trust you and you've got their back and you care about them, they're going to listen to your ability. Like they're going to help you. Yeah. They're going to follow you when you say, hey man, you kind of need some help here.
Yeah. So for sure. I'll tell you, like doing events like fishing or going out on hunts or something of that nature, and then coming back at the end of the day and you're sitting around that fire pit at the end of the, breaking bread at the end of the day. a lot of times, you're paired, you got a veteran that's paired with a guide or with another veteran, and they're out there, and they're doing that bonding that way. And then when they come back, and you got a group of 7, 8 veterans, and it doesn't matter if you're Army, Marines, Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard, whatever, you're going to bond around that fire pit because you've already been bonding, but now the conversation that was already started continues around that fire pit. And I know we've talked about it numerous times here on the show that sometimes that's the best healing, because for one, I can look at the screen and I can say, all right, these three other gentlemen here have been through things that I've been through. And if I go to a therapist, if I go to a doctor, and I'm trying to tell the doctor and explain to the doctor what's going on in my brain space, and they don't understand because they've never been there, right? So they can't comprehend the moral injury that was brought up because of the things that we've seen. So they don't understand that they don't fully understand that. But when you get around other veterans that have been through similar situations, they're like, oh man, well, that kind of happened to us here, or that happened to us there. And then, that right there starts that healing process, because we talk about it all the time. The more we talk about it, the easier it gets. It never eliminates the problem, but it does make it easier to survive with. So,
yeah. And I would say too, veterans they jab at you in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it's about understanding a situation, but it's also about a veteran's more likely to say, you know what, man, like I need you to pick it up. I need you to grab my shoulder and we're going to walk out of here together. But they say it it's just rough around the edges, man. Like I'm paralyzed, and I'll meet anybody. And if they're like, oh man, can you walk over here? I'm like, I'm not walking anywhere, it's just a little rougher. It's a little tougher, but it's healing because you feel like, I don't know. I feel like I can make those jokes with veterans that I wouldn't make the same with, like, I don't know, just someone random.
But it's that dark humor we all have, right? And no matter if you did, 2 years to 22 years, it's there. So I was fishing. That's been a number of years ago now, and I took my kids with me. And one of the guys that was with us is blind, double amputee. And we're on the boat, and I'm looking at my kid at the back of the boat, and he's not reeling much in. And I'm like, you gonna let the blind guy outfish you? He's like, Dad, you can't say that. So we get Matt off the water, and we're standing there, and one of my kids is on each side of Matt, and he looks over, he goes, young man, how many fish did you catch? And he's like, he goes, you mean the blind guy outfished you? He goes, I don't have no legs either. He goes, I can't see what I'm doing, and I can't move on the boat, and I'm still out fishing you. And my son just looked at me like,
what do I say? What do I say?
Right?
Yeah.
But I mean, exactly. It is. So, especially with the fishing piece, right? It's always that light ribbing. If you catch a fish this big and the dude that's on the boat with you just catches a friggin' whale, it's like, bro, you caught my bait. You know what I mean? So, and then it just transitions over into when you come off the boat, and now he's telling everybody about this friggin' minnow you caught and this pig that he caught, and then everybody else gets on you too, and then you finally figure out that there's one dude that didn't catch anything. It's like, well, at least I caught something today, other than
right. Because there's always someone you can turn the blame to, for sure.
For sure. For sure.
So.
People asked about the fishing, like the hunting, the fishing, the outdoors, right? And they were like, oh, tied into veterans. And this is going to date my age, but it's like Joe Camel, it's like it was the appeal to kids to smoke cigarettes. And that's not the end goal. Like that's not what Vet5's end goal is designed to do. We're not just going out, hanging out. Like the fish stories are great, but it's when you come off the water, the relationship that's established, the trust, the bond, the phone call at 1 o'clock in the morning when somebody is not in a good place and they don't want to reach out to any of their daily family members or folks that they're with, but they've got a resource knowing these guys are here, you know, these guys went through some of the stuff that I went through, because we talked about all that on our 8-hour fishing trip, that I'm just like you. Like I've seen it. I've been through it.
Yeah.
I've dealt with it. I came out the other end, and it doesn't get any easier. You just get stronger, right? Like it's not going to go away. It's going to be there no matter what, but you get a couple more arrows in the quiver to deal with trying to take that big game down.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've noticed that it doesn't matter with generational gap either, right? So I was the VP of a nonprofit for a while, and we just focused on fishing up on Lake Erie. And I always used to say the healing waters of Lake Erie, because when you're out there, just all the stress of home, the bills, work, everything just goes away. And the focus is just on those lines that are out there as you're trolling, trying to catch these friggin' monster Lake Erie walleye. And I had a Vietnam veteran on the boat. That year we had three or four guys named Bob. We had Talkative Bob, Bobby Z, and Silent Bob. And this one trip we went out, we ended up having a local camera crew from the news, and they mic us both up. And Bob goes, "I ain't talked about shit in 53 years, and I'm not doing it now." Vietnam guy. And the cameraman ended up getting sick. We were having some waves, and the camera guy puts the camera down and goes over the side of the boat and does his thing. Well, Bob was a Marine. And like, "Bob, where'd you serve at?" And he told me. I was like, "Oh, were they at Camp Lejeune or were they at Camp Geiger at that time?" And he looks at me. I was like, I was a Marine as well, stationed at Camp Lejeune most of my time. And he goes, "Oh, they were at Camp Geiger." So we started talking, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's where this is this." And just kept building that rapport with him. Right. And then the cameraman comes back over, picks up his camera and does his thing, and nothing, absolutely nothing. So then I see the cameraman putting his sandbags down and propping his camera up so it's facing over at Bob, who's sitting over here, and I'm sitting at the back of the boat. And I just start talking to Bob, and here's the cameraman just going, "Huh?" And he'd look at me, "Huh?" And he'd look at me. I'm like, "Oh, I know what he's doing." So he's filming Bob, and he's acting like he's doing the business over the boat. So Bob and I had a conversation. And at the end, I mean, we were probably out there for 3.5 hours before we brought the cameraman in. That dude just opened up completely. He came back to our event that following year, and he walked up to me, and I'm like, "What? Who are you? And what happened?" He goes, "Oh, I've been talking to my wife. I started seeing a therapist at the VA. Oh, this is amazing. Thank you for doing this for me." I'm like, "No, you did that for you. I just started the conversation."
Yeah.
And he tells everybody and anybody that will listen now. He goes from not saying a word to anybody, to include his high school sweetheart wife, who he knew before deploying to Vietnam, to telling me, complete stranger, who he met, a day prior, not even a day prior, hours prior, 12 hours prior. And now he's just fully opened up and just enjoying life. And the reason I know he's telling a lot of people is there's a lady that works for our nonprofit, and he went to buy a chair off her, or she bought it off him. I can't remember the story, but she was telling him about our Warrior Weekend. He goes, "Yeah, you know Sam Deeds?" She goes, "Yeah, I know Sam Deeds." And it just started the conversation. And he told her the entire story. She's like, "Sam, I was there for 45 minutes talking to him." I'm like, good. I'm glad he's letting it go, because after 50 plus years having that stuff built up and pent up and just having that rage inside of him. And now I'm not going to say it's gone, but it's leaving, right? He's taking a pebble out of his pack every time he says this, because they're not bricks anymore, because he's so far removed that the bricks have crumbled, right? From him walking around and carrying this stuff since Vietnam. So, I mean, it's just one of those cool things to see happen when you're out there in nature, and then what happens after, right? You make that one connection with somebody, and that's the end of the story, man. I mean, it's the beginning of the story, but it's the end of a lot of the pain and suffering.
Yeah. And I think, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say that kind of leads into the next question. Okay. Have you witnessed someone completely transform after attending one of your events?
Yeah. So, conversation I had with the person here recently is, we were talking, and they're like, I'm just so angry all the time. I'm just angry. Like, it's normal life, but it just triggers me and I get angry. And I'm like, and so we get to talking, and I get to talking about, and I'm not an angry person, right? So like I'm like a duck, water rolls off my back, but every now and then I'll get just viscerally angry. And we were talking about beet salad. I spilled beet salad all over my house. So there's red stained beet salad everywhere. And it pissed me off. Like, it just set me, and I had to like do laps in my wheelchair around the house just so I didn't like scream. And I said, man, I was like, so every hour of your day, it's like you've dropped the beet salad. He's like, every hour. I'm just angry all the time. And we get to talking, and I was like, man, it sounds more like you're just really sad, you know? And he was like, what? I said, have you grieved all of the stuff that's going on? Like, have you felt it in the sadness, or are you just trying to bury it and be mad? And man, after that conversation, weeks later, this guy's like, I don't know. I don't understand. He goes, it changed my life. He goes, I was sad. I was so sad. And he's like, I went home and I cried. I went home to my wife and I cried. And he's like, I was sad, and I just tried to hide it. And so it made me angry.
Yeah.
And it's just these conversations, like you said, that are organic, that start on the water. And that's kind of what I was wanting to say, is like, it's really hard to tell someone to be better. It's a lot easier to inspire them to be better.
Yeah.
Right. And so like, that conversation is the inspiration. It's not the directive. And I think that's where we lose a lot of people in healthcare, is because it's like, hey, you should feel better. Or if you don't, here's the pill that I'm going to give you.
Yeah.
Right. And I was on a ton, like they gave me 26 different pills after my injury. I don't take any anymore. I take two. I take a blood thinner, and I take like a cholesterol, because I don't move as much. Right. But they had me on 26 different pills, and I felt horrible every single day. But they told me I had to do that to feel better. And so I think after kind of going through that process, that's where I thought, man, you've got to inspire people to want to feel better. And that conversation starts on the water, in the woods, shooting at ducks, all of that. So.
Yeah, that one common purpose helps start that conversation.
Yes. Well, and hopefully you can inspire that purpose in somebody, so someone could be sitting there, and then like your story where the guy, he's talking to everybody now, he's moving, right? He's now finding that, hey, there's a direction I can move. And once an object in motion stays in motion, right? And I think we get to a place where we've stopped. And if we just someone doesn't push us down the hill, then it can be tough.
For sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. So walk us through one of your fishing or hunting events. How do the participants get selected? And then what makes your event unique?
So right now we kind of blanket broadcast stuff. I'd love to get to a point where we have people refer people, right? I'd like to get to a point where people are saying, hey, I've got a buddy and he's in a tough way. And then they can kind of submit their name and information, and then we can reach out to them.
And there's on the website, there's a form that has the availability for someone to submit or request some information about events.
Sure. And it's just usage, right? Like people understanding that that's there. Because right now, like we started, we're new, we're pretty new. And so we don't have the recognition for people to just reach out to us that want, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's definitely one route we want to go. And then what we try to do is we do try to cater to physical disabilities as well. Like, spinal cord injuries got a place in my heart, right? When I was hurt, I said, I'm never going to get to fish again. I'm never going to get to go offshore. And my physical therapist was like, oh no, we'll take you to a dock and we'll catch bluegill. And I was like, ma'am, you don't understand. I don't want to catch bluegill off a dock. I want to go 80 miles offshore and I want to catch 250-pound yellowfin tuna. Right. And I will be happy to let you know I am paralyzed. I captain a boat, the Vet5 boat, and we take disabled veterans 80 miles offshore for 200-pound yellowfin tuna. Right.
Nice.
And it's one of those things where I said, I will do it again. Right. No matter how hard it is, because it does suck. It's a totally different experience. The suck is getting there. But once I'm on the water, it's pure happiness. Right. And that's what we try to get people to understand. And so when we pick people, right, we try to find those people that are in a struggling way where they're like, man, I can't do that anymore. You're like, no, you can do it. And we want to provide that opportunity for you as easy as possible. I want to remove that suck that it takes to get there. And we provide lodging, we provide food, we provide the trip, we provide all of that. The only thing if we get bigger and all that, we would absolutely love to provide travel and to get you there. But as of right now, if you can get there, we take care of the rest. So.
Yeah. And when I was doing the walleye stuff, you had to get to us. But again, once you were there, like we had 30 boat captains that would take guys and gals out. We covered the lodging, we covered all the food. You just had to get to and from us. Other than that, and it's and that shows that they truly want to be there when they show up, right? Yeah. Because if you're paying their way, I get a free trip to here, and now they have a little bit of skin in the game, if you will, and something that drives them to actually show up because they're having to put forth that effort to get there.
Yeah. The thing that truly, it truly impressed me to see the back end of it all, though, like fishermen, hunters, like the more this thing grew, and Casey and I are on phone calls, we're on phone calls with the other guys, and all of a sudden Casey's like, hey, I talked to so-and-so who has a boat, who's willing to let us use this boat, the more veterans we can get. Wait a minute, I just met this captain. He said to call him. He can't take him this weekend, but like now we have him on standby. He's got a 48-foot, more than capable of filling that boat with people. It's just the people that want to participate, they just need I can't organize it. I don't have the bandwidth to organize it, but by the way, I got a $2.5 million boat here that is fully ADA outfitted, and just call me and I'd love to have you guys out,
Yeah.
So that's been, to me, like a huge eye opening, because I didn't even know that community existed. Number one. Number two, people aren't running around going, I support veterans and first responders, even if they're not veterans and first responders, but they're out there and salt of the earth type people, those people that are on the water, it's a little bit of a different breed.
Yeah. And when they find out too, it's like that these guys are doing great things. They tell their buddies, they tell their friends that are in their core group, and now their friends want to be part of what you guys are doing. And, there's an event that I go to that I'm not going to say I help organize. I help find guys and gals to go to the event. And it's yellowfin tuna fishing. It's shark fishing up off the coast of New Jersey. And every year we go, there are new boat captains that show up and say, I was told by X person. I'm like, oh yeah, he was one of our captains 2 years ago. Yeah, I just couldn't get here last year, but I'm here now. Where can I fit in? And there's some of these, 20, 30, 40-foot boats that we're only putting 2 or 3 people on because we have so many captains that want to be involved, that want to touch those lives. And it's just friggin' awesome. It's great what you guys are doing too. And, same thing, in the hunting too. You'll find guys that hear about what you guys are doing and be like, hey, I got a plot that nobody hunts on. My kids don't hunt anymore. And, it's being overrun. You guys can, come out here and I'll hook you. I'll put you up and everything. So yeah, it's just, that outdoors community is pretty amazing.
Yeah. We just did a big event for the Alabama Deep Sea Fishing Rodeo. I've been fishing that tournament for 20 years, and this is the first year we've incorporated. Well, Vet5 just started, and then we incorporated that event as kind of what we're going to do. And I met another group. I won't say who they are, but they started. It's a very cool story to me. And if you fish, you know that people protect their numbers, right?
Yeah, for sure.
They don't give you GPS coordinates.
Nope.
And they met us at the rodeo. We had a booth, and they talked. We get to talking, and they were a group of Vietnam veterans. Is like four or five or six of them, and one of their buddies just recently died, and he was cremated and then turned into an artificial reef.
Oh man!
Oh, wow.
And they dropped him in the ocean. They're the only ones that know the coordinates, and they fish that reef every year now as to honor him. Yeah. And through our conversation, they gave us those coordinates and invited us to take a group of veterans out and fish that reef next year, which is super cool. I just think that I will guard those numbers with my life. And it's just a super cool opportunity. So we'll be looking out for that. We're going to be looking to take, 4 or 5 veterans out on that trip as well, which will be pretty cool.
Yeah. And if while we're on this podcast, if anybody wants to reach out that has some numbers that they want to share with us, we're happy to take those and also guard those, because taking veterans out and putting them on big fish always makes for the trip better. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah. So I know. So we go to the Gulf Shores every New Year's, and we go out with a charter company down there that's real veteran friendly. And I might reach out to them and see if I can get some numbers for you guys, because we went out there. We were out for 4 hours and we caught our limit, and it was amazing. So, Sean, who you talking about? These guys, Vet5 and you. I don't know if you guys can see the comment, but Sean, he's with Awesome Odyssey. They're going to do the Great American Loop. Yeah, so him and his son is going to do that. So I think he's talking about you. Yeah, I think he wants to get contact with you guys. So, but anyway, yeah, I'll reach out to my charter guy down in the Gulf Shores area and say, hey, I got these vets that are taking other veterans out fishing, and they need some numbers, some coordinates.
Yeah, there you go. Well, yeah, I know how protected they could be of those numbers, but I've been fishing the Gulf for a long time, so we've got some spots. But yeah, we'll always happy to take some more. I think for that rodeo, we went 75 miles. We were in 600 foot of water, and we were catching a bunch of fish, just nothing big. And we ran back in. I said, man, there's this one honey hole I know. It's only 8 miles off the coast, but we always catch fish there. And sure enough, we caught all the legal snapper 8 miles offshore after we just ran 75. I was
amazing.
like, leave it, $800 in fuel later. So, yeah, but it was still a great trip. We took a bunch of people out that trip that had never been offshore in their life. We had no waves. I mean, I could run wide open, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful trip. We caught a bunch of fish. We didn't win or set any records, but boy, we had a good time, and we caught a bunch of fish.
That's all that matters. I mean, just having a good time, and the veterans, they're out there on the boat. They're talking. They're competing with each other. I caught the biggest fish. No, I caught the biggest fish. That's what it's all about, man. I love Gunny and I have never been fishing together. I don't know why, but we haven't. But I go with other veterans when I go down in for New Year's, and we always banter back and forth. Oh, I caught the biggest amberjack. No, I caught it. It's always fun. So, all right. So we are getting close to the end of the show. Tell us about the vision for Vet5 Wellness Center that you guys are planning to do in the future.
Man, so that is something I would love to make happen. It's going to require a lot of time and money and fundraising. But what I would like to do is essentially build a retreat / wellness center on 400 acres of land, so that we can bring veterans in, not just for one day of fishing and hunting, but for a week, right? And but then also at that wellness center, we can provide, kind of like you did in the military. You do your marriage counseling, or a veteran struggling, and they get to pick. They don't have to go to classes all day. They just go to one class a day. It's, hey man, like I really want to learn more about anger management, or I want to learn more about this. And they go to that class for that day with their family, with their spouse, with their children, if that's how they want. And then the rest of the time they get to build fellowship around a pool, hang out, they get to cook together. Like, we'll provide the food, but then, or cook it, but we're all hanging out in a common space where we're all building community. We're all building camaraderie. And then we do a hunt, or we do a fishing trip. And, cause the other thing is, a lot of this stuff is weather dependent, right? So if I plan a trip for one day and it doesn't go well, then we just kind of had a mediocre trip. If I can have you there for a week, then I can say, hey, you know what? Weather's terrible today. We're going to go ahead and barbecue, and I want a shooting range out there so we can spend time doing stuff we like to do, shoot guns and talk about our problems. And so it's a distant vision in the sense of, like, it's just going to take time and commitment and community to kind of support us and back this. But man, if we could ever pull that off, it'd be pretty cool.
But the science, the whole litmus test behind it is there. So when I was in when we all were in Baghdad 05, 06, and this will make a lot of sense as it comes back around. I was a 91 X-ray mental health guy, right? And so I used to have access to Uday Hussein's bombed out palace. And so guys that were coming straight in off of a rough mission, they got sent to our aid station in Camp Liberty. And then they basically came out of their unit for what the Army built out as an in-country R&R. And so I would take these guys for 3-4 days to Uday Hussein's swimming pool to just sit by the pool, drink some near beer, cook burgers, and decompress, right? And so if the Army built it out, now obviously the military doesn't always, the hurry up and wait isn't always the best thing for soldiers, sailors, and airmen. But that whole premise of it, tying it into the wellness center on civilian side, I think we really could have something special that you're not going to get through the VA resources, or you're not going to get through civilian channels. There's a lot of positive research in the community around ibogaine and all these different type of things that are going on for a wellness center that are helping soldiers with PTSD. And so some of the conversations that we're having around that is, how do we grow this? How do we raise the money? How do we get some backing? And how do we use the hunting and fishing as our, hey guys, this is the vessel to lead you to that true step, to take a step and seek some help, because life gets better on that other side,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You got to go through it. You got to go through it a little bit to come out, to come out a little better on the other side. And too many people are making permanent decisions to temporary problems.
Yeah. Yes, I would agree.
I know it's only, I think we're down to 19 a day per the statistics that are being lost to suicide, but that permanent fix to a temporary problem is something that we truly want to, even if we can impact a small population, we all feel like we've done a little bit better, left the world a little bit better than the way we found it.
Yeah, it's a temporary fix for them, but it transfers to everybody that knew them.
Sure.
So that pain stays around for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't want to, I know we're running short on time, but I wanted to talk about families too. We care. We want these to be family participated groups too, because I've got a good friend. I grew up in Alaska, and I used to work at the youth services on post. And a good friend there, she married a soldier, and he got blown up in Afghanistan. He's paralyzed. He's in a wheelchair. And I reached out to her. I said, hey, this is what I do now. I'd love to take your husband out fishing. And she goes, man, there's so much for veterans, but my husband doesn't want to fish without his boys, you know? And I said, that's a great point. And so we offer these trips for, provided they're age appropriate, right? So if we go shooting or something like that, you know, you got to be of a certain age. But we offer these trips for the veteran and their family, because my wife became a caregiver overnight. We run a farm. We take care of cows and horses and all these other things. And I still help out as much as I can, but the brunt of that burden is now my wife, and she deserves just as much support as the veteran. Because if they can be happy together, then we don't have then that one piece of that puzzle is not going to be a breaking point, right? My family is not going to break me. They're going to support me and build me up, right? And so I just wanted to emphasize that we do want to focus on families as well, not just the veteran, because I think it is kind of a whole. You need all of it to make it work.
Yeah, sure.
We talk about that quite a bit here, that there's a lot of organizations out there that focus strictly on the veteran. They don't focus on the families of the veteran, because a lot of people don't realize that when we are deployed, our wife is back home serving, same as our kids. It might be in a different capacity than what we are doing, but they're still serving. You know, they're still keeping, especially the wives, you know, they're keeping the household running like it's supposed to be running. And then, you know, their PTSD is way different than our PTSD, you know, because every morning they're like, oh, is daddy coming home, or is my service member coming home? I don't want to just leave it to just men only, but you know, the spouse at home is like, oh, are they coming home? Is today going to be the day that I get that call, or is today the day that they're going to come knocking on my door? So their PTSD is a little bit different than ours, and I love when there's organizations out there that focus on the family aspect of it as well, because they're the unforgotten. And then you mentioned something about Gold Star families earlier. I know we haven't touched on it. Do you want to touch on that real quick?
Yeah, sure. And we support Gold Star families too, and then first responders. So we kind of want to cater to the people that sacrifice so much for the community, right? And the family is all part of that. Gold Star families, it's not fair. It's not fair for a Gold Star family. You have someone who said, hey, I'm going to sacrifice my life for the community, and then they lose their life, and then they get forgotten, right? Oh, yeah. Your husband did exactly what he said he was going to do, sacrifice his life for the country. And then, but because he's not here anymore, we're not going to help you out. That doesn't make sense to us. And we want to support those people and provide those same types of trips. My wife is very involved in this as well. And we try to do spouse, focus things where my wife kind of runs those as well. So for example, we did that offshore trip with the veterans, but then my wife took the spouses and the children and took them blue crabbing with hand lines and chicken necks, right? To just kind of help the spouse build a community, the children build a community with the other veteran children. And, you know, cause they all kind of have a little piece of the life that they get to share. So,
And through that, just to I don't want to cast the net too wide, but Gold Star families. So I'm based out of Dallas. You guys on the news, Private Isabella Gonzalez that was killed. We were able to coordinate housing for her family that came into Dallas to attend the funeral. So Vet5 used resources available we were able to put up 12 of her family members for the week, so that was one less stressor or burden that they had to worry about local to the area. So a huge part of it, right? It doesn't just right now we make this joke, but we're like a shotgun, you know, it's a very wide bullet pattern. And as resources are available, or as we're trying to reach out for resources, and help and donations and everything else to fund this. There is no set in stone, like this is the end all be all. It's about making that connection and about giving someone a resource. Casey's so connected through the rehabilitation centers and, you know, everything that he went through. Some of our other guys are connected in the business world. Another one is very well connected through construction. Like there's a whole multitude of things that we want to be that resource and vehicle. And it's been a blessing so far to be able to be a part of it.
Heck yeah.
All right. So last but not least, the last question. If somebody wanted to donate, become a sponsor, get involved, how would somebody go about doing that?
So we have two options. We have, three. We have our website, which is vet5.org. You got it scrolling down there. They can donate on there. Monthly donations is kind of something that helps us rely on, like we can rely on that a little bit. But we typically try to recruit for the event and don't raise money as we do events and stuff. They can reach out to us on there through the website as far as like, hey, I want to help. I'm in the area. How can I volunteer? You can do that. Our Facebook page is where we put the website is harder to update on a day-to-day basis, right? So we put a lot of like the current, hey, this is what's happening right now on Facebook and Instagram. And then we do have a Twitter that's not, it's hard to manage.
All that it's X.
Yeah. That X or whatever. So Instagram and Facebook are our primaries right now. So yeah. But yeah, reach out, donate there. We have a Venmo.
Shoot us an email. For some reason, that Facebook Messenger, I'll tell you, I don't know if it catches a lot of bots. I don't know what it is, but it is overrun with the most random messages. And I'm sure you guys get it through your podcast, through the Meta Suite. It's trying to weed through that to figure out what's real, what's not, who's in need, who's trolling us, who's whatever. So an email, the website has an email address, and you can find us all pretty easily on social media.
Yeah. And it's Casey at vet5.org or Matt at vet5.org. If you want, I'll tag this on Facebook and put all our contact information in a post after or something like that. So however is easiest for you guys. But the other thing is we would just, everyone listening and stuff like that, man, if you just like our Facebook page or follow that does a ton just to put us in the algorithm, get our name out there, and it pop up on somebody's feed that may need it, and so that's a big part of this too. So even if you don't want to donate or, just like it and share our page, and then that's huge. That's huge. It really does help.
Yeah. So to share their page on Facebook, you go to their page, click on the little three dots, and go down and send invites to people to like the page. That's how you do it. I just did that the other day, and I sent it out to 1,800 people. So hopefully you'll get an influx of people. But here's your email, Casey at vet5.org, or you can reach out to Matt at vet5.org as well. So that's in chat already. So,
and it's vet5.org, VET5.org.
Yeah. For the ones that are listening at home. All right, guys, I want to say thank you guys for taking time out of your busy schedule to come hang out with Gunny and I. It's so great to, see an organization that is doing hunting and fishing, and then everything else that you got incorporated into that. If you're close, when I'm going to Alabama at the end of the year, I'm gonna see where you guys are, and maybe we can link up while we're down there fishing or something.
I'm 40 minutes from Gulf Shores.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. Well, I have to reach out to my guy and be like, hey, how can we do this? So we'll see what we can do, my friend. All right, fellas, thank you again. We're going to drop you in a green room if you want to hang out, or if you got things to do, we understand. Gunny and I will take maybe 10 minutes to close out the show, and then we can chit chat afterwards. It's up to you guys.
Okay, sounds great.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having us.
Thank you guys so much.
You're very welcome. How cool was that, Gunny?
Good stuff, man. And we talk about it all the time, having organizations that are including first responders and the Gold Star families and just the families, period, right? There's very few that do. And to see an organization like Vet5 that's out there doing amazing things through the veteran, first responder, Gold Star families is just
that's phenomenal.
That's phenomenal. So yeah, super. I mean, it was a great show, and these guys are doing great things.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I just want to give a big shout out to the people over on TikTok right now. We got They Call Me Doc, the Life Liberty Show, Pop Sit Rolling, and a bunch of other people have been in and out making comments and stuff over there. I haven't really been paying a whole lot of attention to TikTok, so I do apologize for that. It's kind of hard to pay attention to both when you're trying to do this over here on this, guys. Thank you, Sean. Also want to say thank you to all the people here that come in and comment here on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, wherever you're commenting on.
Yeah, not sure why, but a lot of the stuff didn't populate on my end today, either on my phone or on my computer here. So the last thing
I had to keep going in and out for some reason. So not in and out, but like change it from comments to banners. Doc, yes, it is. Here, let me find on Facebook. It is Vet5 Foundation. Let me go to Facebook. Yeah, so VET5 Foundation is their Facebook page. Let me share it here real quick. Share screen. Can you see it? Let's see if we go full screen. So yeah, it's the Vet5 Foundation. That's what it's going to look like, Doc. All right, let's stop sharing. All right. Where you at, Gunny? Where do we go?
Well, I don't know what'd you do.
I don't know. I stopped sharing the other, and it messed us all up. Anywho, Gunny, it's that time of night, my friend. You ready?
It is. Yep.
All right, here we go.
Gunny's Words of Wisdom.
I like this quote from Ernie Pyle. It says, "War makes strange, giant creatures out of us little routine men who inhabit the earth."
Say that again for the people in the back.
War makes strange, giant creatures out of us little routine men who inhabit the earth.
That's powerful. That is really powerful. Yep, that's really powerful. All right. Let's see if I can make you laugh tonight, Gunny.
It's time for the joke of the day.
Why did the Scarecrow win an award?
Why did the Scarecrow win the award?
Because he was outstanding in his field. Oh, gosh, Gunny. All right, here we go. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, you're not alone. You still have worth. You still have value. Don't let the dark days win. And I promise you that if you follow your passion, you will find your purpose.
In the silence of your struggles, remember, though unseen, you are deeply held in the hearts of others. You're not alone. The uniform may come off, but the bond remains. And together we heal, together we rise, and together we carry each other forward. And the key word there is together. We can't do this individually. Everybody says, "Oh, I don't need no help. I don't need no help." You got to ask for help. And that's where together we do it together. We heal, we rise, and we carry each other forward. Hashtag be someone stranger. Listen, we as humans, we're more apt to talk to a complete stranger than the ones we love the most. So be someone stranger today. And what I mean by that is when you're out and about and you see somebody and it looks like they're having a bad day, go up to them, say, "Hey, how are you doing today?" And if they give you the red flags, "I'm okay, I'm hanging in there, I'm living the dream," ask the next hard question. How are you really doing? And be ready for that conversation. It could be a 5-minute conversation. It could be an 8-hour conversation. You have to be ready for that conversation and just listen. We don't want somebody to try to fix us. Sometimes we just need to get out. We need to get that demon out, what's going on in our head. And you never know. You might save that person's life.
Yeah, and it takes a village. We can't do this alone. No matter how much you think you can, there's guys and gals that are out here that have been through the same struggles that you've been through and have come out on the other side. And use your resources. I mean, you've got everybody here at HomeFront SitRep. You've got all your contacts in your phone, your contacts on Facebook. Pick up that phone, open your contacts, blindly scroll through, and hit a button. Give that person a call. If they don't pick up, "Hey man, I'm just thinking about you today. Hey sis, just thinking about you today. Give me a call back." If they do pick up, "Hey, you got a few minutes? I just need an ear." And like Willis said, who knows? Your voice might save them that day.
So I got a question on TikTok for Casey real quick. Bringing you back up real quick, Casey. So Doc, they call me Doc over on TikTok, said he made a donation through Facebook. And he was wanting to know if that goes through to you guys or how does that work?
Yes. So our Facebook is connected to the PayPal Giving Fund. And so it'll go to a PayPal account.
Awesome. All right. You see that?
And thank you.
She said she's a she. I thought it was the other. I thought it was Lance. So it's another Doc. So,
okay.
But she donated. So.
Well, thank you very much. We absolutely appreciate that.
Awesome. I will be almost done, Casey. We'll bring you right back up.
Sure.
All right, Gunny, it's time for our community partners. I'm going to play this commercial first because it's just easier to do the commercial than all that other jazz. So let's
have me talk about my elite engraving problem.
Yeah.
Army grit and Air Force pride, crafted with precision every time. From hats to awards, your brand will shine. Elite engraving, one of a kind. Elite engraving, made with pride. Veteran armor on your side. Custom gifts and branding done right. Elite engraving, precision in every line.
Yeah, so go check out. Do what?
Says good stuff, man.
It is good stuff. So they reached out to me and asked me to create a short commercial and a long commercial. The long commercials has more pictures and stuff, but it's 2 minutes long, and I don't feel like we need to play something that's 2 minutes long. So, but anyway, let's talk about our community partners there, Gunny. Let's go here first.
Yeah, SOF Missions, a great organization out of Tampa, doing amazing things for our men and women who have served this country, to include those first responders that serve our communities. They have different clinics throughout the year. Willis and I went to a 5-day clinic back in February. The cool thing about the clinic is every bit of the clinic is catered to you, the individual, except for the group stuff. And the group stuff's not no kumbaya and stuff like that, but it's some really, really good things, and it's a lot of holistic care. I gotta get a hold of Megan and order supplements, so I opted to do the 365 aftercare program. Chris just updated my workouts. I got to get my stuff from my supplements from Megan. But yeah, great group of people down there, and it's sofmissions.org. They do 2 all-female clinics. They have one coming up in October for your first responders. when you go to the app and go to enroll or apply, you may not see where it says, first responder or police officer or firefighter. You have to go to branch. Underneath branch, scroll all the way down on that drop tab. You'll see police, fire, and EMS. You are there, I promise you. Willis and I had a firefighter in our group with us.
Yep. And when it comes to nonprofits, we talk about tier levels. You got your big three, and then you have everybody else below the big three. And I'm just saying big three because everybody knows who I'm talking about. They are SOF Missions is top tier below the big three. And the reason being is because they do, like, when you first get there, you feel like you belong. Like they make you feel loved minute one. And then everything is catered, other than the group sessions, is catered to you. And like Gunny said, it's 365 days of care afterwards. Not many organizations out there do that. And they do, massage therapy, chiropractor, golf, a little bit of everything. So check out sofmissions.org. Up next is heroesmediagroup.com. HomeFront SitRep has been a proud family member of the HMG family for 3 years. Adam Bird and his team are simply amazing. They do great things for veterans in the veteran space. Military Creator Con, and just check out heroesmediagroup.com. Adam is phenomenal.
Yeah, Reefs Across America. Willis and I have been partners with them for a little over 2.5 years. Great group that Jeff and them have to put together for us. And you can find us every Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern on Reefs Across America Radio. Or you can just go to reefsacrossamerica.org/radio and listen to any of the other great shows they have going on.
Awesome. Up next is Same Flag, Same Oath.com. This is a small veteran owned, I want to say t-shirt company, but they do other things as well. Same Flag, Same Oath.com. We partnered with them a while back. We have our co-branded shirt, which Uncle Sam is wearing. He still ain't washed that shirt yet. I don't know what's wrong with Uncle Sam. He's slacking. Or you can go check out our other shirts as well. So we have our Marine It Down, we have the Spicy Pineapple, then we have our HomeFront SitRep logo shirt, then we have our Red Friday shirt, then we have You're Not Alone and #Be Someone Stranger. The Marine It Down and the Red Friday. So the Marine It Down comes out only in that color shirt. Remember, everyone deployed. The red shirt comes either in black or red. All the other shirts have different shirt colors and font colors. Now, the Spicy Pineapple, the font colors stay the same, but the t-shirt color changes. And the same thing with the HomeFront SitRep. You get different colored t-shirts, but the font color stays the same. So check out Same Flag, Same Oath.com, or you can go to HomeFront SitRep and get our shirt from the link there. All right, next up.
Yeah, Valor Coins and Pins, owned and operated by Brent and Brian Casey, the grandsons of the late Herschel Woody Williams, Medal of Honor recipient from World War II in the Battle of Iwo Jima. Anything you need, challenge coin wise, pin, medals, patches. This is one of the patches that they did. It's the PVC patch, or poker chips. Brent and Brian will take great care of you. Tell them the boys from HomeFront SitRep sent you. And a portion of the proceeds from every order placed goes to support the Woody Williams Foundation to build Gold Star Memorial monuments across the nation.
Up next is RDC Shoes. This is Darren Davis, former Marine, or I shouldn't say former Marine, but
and you get on me for saying it.
I know, right? So
Marine
he's a
Corps
Marine veteran, former LEO. Him and his wife created RDC Shoes, and I tell you what, I love my Patriot shoes, which are the blue field, red and white tongue. Very, very comfortable shoe. It also has gold star eyelets at the top two on either side of the shoe, which represents gold star families. And then they have the Patriot or the Glory, which is the star the stripes, the red and white stripes with the blue filled tongue. It also has the Gold Star Eyelet as well, and it says Folds of Honor on the back of the shoe. Now each one of the shoes, the Folds of Honor, if you order that, a percentage of the proceeds go to the Folds of Honor. If you get the Patriots, then some of the proceeds go to the Woody Williams Foundation or the Medal Honor Society. So go check out rdcshoes.com. And then last but not least, HomeFront SitRep.com. It still needs to be updating. And like Casey said, it's hard to update that. We're a little bit behind on our website as well. I need to update it tremendously. So if you know somebody who will work on a veteran website, reach out to me because I need some help. I'm sure Casey could use some help too on their website.
Man, you need more help than what can be provided.
Hey. Anyway, like we always say on Homefront SitRep, stay safe out there.
We got your 6.
Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Suggestions and comments are always welcome.
Cannot wait to have another great show with y'all.
Don't forget you can find HomeFront SitRep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Stay safe out there. I got your 6.